Hello there, Wargamers! Luka here from MiniWarGaming.com, joined by Gaz from Warlord Games. Today we play Blood Red Skies.
Vault members, remember, of course, we have more Blood Red Skies for you. I will be playing another game against Luka. So it is me, Josh, versus, well, Luka. So you can check that out at the link below if you're a Vault member.
We play and call it work.
For this video, Gaz and myself will be playing the dogfight scenario, which is your typical fighter-on-fighter scenario. I will be representing the Japanese forces. My squadron will consist of 5 aircraft. 2 of them will be veteran trained, 2 will be regular, and 1 is going to be a rookie.
And today I'm going to be running the F4F Wildcats, and I shall be running with an ace, a veteran, 2 regulars, and a rookie.
Gaz and I are now deployed, standard style deployment for this here dogfight. Unfortunately, Gaz rolled a little bit lower, so he had to deploy one of his elements first. As we can see over here, the ace and the rookie flying together within 3 inches of each other. I countered with my veteran and regular trained, and then of course we have the much larger element of the squadron there, and then I had deployed in the clouds. Now I would like to give a shout out to Table War for providing the mat what you see here today. It's a multi-component mat, so obviously you can just add more water if you want more water, or add some islands to that. You'll notice that the mat is a little bit smaller here. It's a 3 foot by 4 foot mat, which means the game can be played on your standard kitchen tabletop. You don't need any grandiose play area to play this game here in particular. To note, the elements of the table that will matter are the clouds. The rules interact with them very heavily, which we'll explain as it comes up. Everything else you see is just to add to the imagination of the game. The first step of any game, after deployment, we have to check the advantage levels of each of our aircraft. So some of them might start at higher altitudes than the others. We're going to go ahead and start with the zeros, and then we'll do the Wildcats afterwards. The way this works is I'm going to roll a d6 for each one of these aircrafts, those included. On a 1 or a 2, they're going to start at disadvantage, a lower altitude. A 3 to 4 will be the neutral altitude, and then 5 or 6 will start at advantage. You'll see in a moment here. My rookie will be at neutral, so he just stays in that position. The regular train rolls a 5, so that is going to be advantage. So we're going to tilt the plane back. Let's see if I can do that with one hand. I can. Look at that. Haha. And then on to the veteran. Hey! We're going to start at a higher altitude. It's hard to do with one hand. I'll show you. And then we went to go ahead and roll off the rest off camera. To give you an idea though, we have advantage, neutral, and then for the Wildcats, we got neutral, advantage, advantage, and 2 neutrals. No disadvantage to start with. Now I should note that advantage doesn't necessarily represent only altitude. It's, pilot awareness as well as many other elements. Gaz and I are ready to play this game. And well, we start with initiative. The way the initiatives here are going to work is the highest pilot levels at advantage, which represents the aircraft tilting backwards, will go first. So the highest pilot level is the ace on the Wildcat, but he's flying at neutral speeds. So then we would check the next highest veterancy, which would be 4, which is veterans, at advantage. And then we see we have 2 of them tied. We have a 0 at advantage, and we have a Wildcat at advantage. Then, if they're tied, you check their top potential speeds. The highest speed must go. Taking a look at the 0 card, you'll notice 3 characteristics on the left. The topmost one is the firepower characteristic, the second one is its agility, and the final one is the speed. Now, to figure out top speed, you'll notice a smaller number underneath the speed characteristic, 354 miles per hour on the 0. Now, taking a look at the Wildcat card, you'll notice different characteristics, but more importantly, the top speed is only 320 miles per hour, which means the 0 will go first. In this case, and any future cases in this game. Now, while activating an aircraft, you're going to go through 4 basic steps. You shoot first, you potentially burn advantage, you then move, and then your pilot action at the end. In this case, the range of shooting is 6 inches. I have no enemy aircraft within 6, so I will be passing on the shoot action. The next step is to burn advantage. I take the position I'm in, and I knock it down to neutral, and I get to augment my movement in one of 2 ways. I could perform a maneuver, I could turn up to 180 degrees at any point during the movement, or I could dive and pick up speed and add 6 inches to the movement characteristic of this aircraft. And by burning disadvantage, my aircraft would be set to neutral. Now, one thing to point out is this aircraft is in a cloud, so once an aircraft enters a cloud or leaves a cloud, touches a cloud, it loses any disadvantage or advantage it did have, and then it will go to the neutral position it's currently in, which means as an example, if I was neutral and I burnt advantage to maneuver or add movement through a dive, I would then go back to the neutral position afterwards, kind of representing the enemy pilots unaware of my position exactly, and I can pull off a few more stunts than I would otherwise feel comfortable doing. Now that I look at the position of the airspace, I'm actually not in love with having to activate this aircraft first, and this pilot, because I don't know where I want him to end up. This is the end of activation token to show that he is activated, because I have enemy aircraft flying right towards me. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to maneuver, and maneuver allows me to turn up to 180 degrees at any point during the move. You're only normally allowed to do a 45-degree turn at the end of your move, but I'd have to burn advantage to do this. But again, I'm in the cloud, so what I'm going to do is instead go in this direction and move. The movement characteristic, like you've seen on the 0 earlier, is 7, so I'm able to move up to 7 inches with it. At the movement tool here, you just line it up with the side of your base, and you just put the aircraft as far as you want to go. Obviously, the 0s are very fast compared to the Wildcats, who only move 6. So we're going to end up over there with that 0. And with that move there, I moved on to the third step, which is the move step. You move up to your movement characteristic or your speed characteristic. And in addition to the 180 turn I did at any point during that move, I can finish with a 45-degree turn, which I will certainly do. Here's a little movement tool we use to determine 45-degree turns. You just line up the arrows and you just put the arrow in the new position, or the aircraft facing the new position. Voila! The last part of any aircraft activation would be the pilot action. There's 3 options. You can choose to shoot again, so you just repeat step 1, which is shoot. Obviously nothing within 6 inches, so I am not going to perform that action. The other one would be outmaneuver. That's not going to come up yet. I'll explain that when that does come up. And the last one is to climb. I can increase the aircraft's advantage level by 1. And it is generally safe to be at advantage, so I'm going to use this opportunity to climb and gain advantage. And that is it for an aircraft's activation. It is now complete. We will move on to the next aircraft in initiative order and just repeat all of that until the game is done. Because we were tied earlier, naturally this Wildcat, this veteran Wildcat, will be activating next.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to dive with my veteran.
Which is adding 6 inches to its characteristic and burning advantage, so you'll go to a neutral position.
Neutral position.
Boop. So he gets to add 6 to, what is their move normally? It should be 6.
That's 6 normally on the Wildcats. Then I'm going to go my full move.
Right on forward.
Right on forward.
Boop. And we'll notice a part of the actual base itself does touch a cloud, so he's now obscured, hidden in the clouds.
And then I'm just going to turn my 45 degrees slightly.
Boop.
Just like that.
And at this point, there's no pilot action really to do, because while you're in the clouds, you're always set to neutral.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I can't do a pilot action.
No climbing really there. Yeah, no pilot action in general. Next, we're going to resolve another advantage planes. Those will be the 0s. We have 2 at regular veterancy here. So I'm going to activate, I'm going to go with this 0. And again, we're in the cloud, so it will just go to net neutral on the advantage there. We are going to perform a maneuver, and I'm going to show you where this aircraft ends up. Doing something very similar to the veteran in front of them, trying to wingman, fly together, all of that good stuff. I should clarify for myself here, I am definitely no veteran of the game, and I am just flying with complete confidence and hoping that everything will work out for me and my 0s. Next aircraft activation, unfortunately, is one of my 0s, so I am unsure what the Wildcats are going to be doing. We are going to perform a maneuver on this 0 as well. So we're going to burn that advantage. Boop, boop, going back to neutral. Boop, knocking that guy. And then turning in this direction. Ending nice and safe in the clouds.
Okay, so with my rookie then, I'm going to burn maneuver and just turn towards the cloud.
Boop.
And then I'm going to move my 6 into the cloud.
Nice and safe.
Whoops. And then just turn 45 degrees. And just wait.
Effectively for the clouds, everyone, the aircraft aren't even there. Rules-wise, in a lot of regards, just not even in the game
just
until they...
hiding.
Exactly.
So next is my ace, and all I'm going to do with this guy, I'm going to burn maneuver 180 and just go like a 90, 100 degree.
Okay.
And then just turn it towards the clouds. That'll put me at disadvantage. And then I'm just going to move my 6 into the cloud.
Right back to neutral.
Right back to neutral, and then my end, 45 degree pivot, and just end up there.
Right, oh, just keeping very safe. Next up will be my Zero, my veteran, actually, who must go next. It's tough. It's tough. I think I am also going to maneuver, so I'm going to go down to disadvantage, but I'm going to end up in the cloud. I'm going to end up in the clouds there to ambush out at the wild cards later on. I should note for the movement here, you don't always have to go your maximum, so I don't always have to go 7, but you do have to go half rounded up. So Zero must always at least move 4 inches. In this case, a Wildcat must always move 3.
Cool, so with my neutral 3, I am just going to burn advantage to kind of turn towards you and then move my full distance, and we'll just see where we end up. Boop.
So that's the final position. He would have been disadvantaged with the maneuver, but the pilot action at the end would be to climb back to a neutral position. Obviously, we're not close enough to fire at each other quite yet. We are just getting into the position for the killing blow. So that means we're on to the last neutral aircraft, which is my Zero over here at rookie level. And then after that, we'll move Gaz's final regular trained pilot, who is unfortunately started the game at disadvantage.
Yeah.
On to my rookie. I think the plan here is to support the rest of the element of the squadron. So we're going to burn a maneuver, burn advantage to do a maneuver, turn 180. And then we're going to move to about this position here, because I know that's a little bit more than 4. And I think we're going to turn a little bit and then no pilot action while in the cloud. So we're going to end there. And then last move is Gaz's Wildcat. So one mechanic to show off here, this aircraft obviously starting disadvantage, which means...
Yeah, I can't burn advantage on this, so all I can do is a shoot action, which I can't do, or a movement and with a 45 degree at the end, and then do a climb from a pilot's action to bring you back to neutral.
Alrighty. Brings you in line with his wingman there, and then using the climb to get back to a neutral position to be able to do a little bit more in the next turn. Which, speaking of the next turn, that's where we're at. And again, this scenario is going to play out exactly like this until one of the forces have left the airspace and have given up, which we'll explain a little bit more in detail when we actually start firing at each other. First turn is usually getting into the position for the kill, or first 2 turns typically. Now the next battle round, we're going to clean off all the markers that represented the aircraft that have moved, and we are going to start with that bad boy. Looking at all the aircraft with advantage, it would only be this Zero at 4. Well, I guess I do have 2 aircraft at advantage. Both of these are going to have to go simultaneously, which is very good for me. Well, I get to show off a cool mechanic here, where I'm going to shoot at Gaz's aircraft, but in response, he'll get to shoot right back at me, which is called the head-on attack mechanic. You know, you shoot at me, well, you try and kill me, I'll try and kill you right back. So I'm going to fire right back at you.
Guess what, buddy?
Exactly. So we are going to just fly forward our 7, and then turn a little bit, and then as a pilot action, well, heck, we're going to shoot and show off the shoot mechanic. So this is the final position of that Zero. I didn't burn advantage to get in this position. I simply moved forward a little too impetuous. I went forward the full 7. I probably should have only gone 6, but luckily enough, with the 45 degree turn, I am still in the front arc of the Wildcat, which means there's not a whole lot of defensive maneuvers here for that Wildcat. Had I been firing into the side arc, it is wildly difficult to hit an aircraft as it's passing you by. So if that comes up, we'll show that mechanic later on. Now, for head-on fire, we are both going to simultaneously fire at one another, regardless of the advantage. Typically, you can only fire an aircraft at another aircraft at a lower disadvantage or a lower advantage than itself. So my Zero here is at advantage. It could hit anything at neutral or disadvantage, whereas the Wildcat wouldn't normally be able to fire at the Zero, but in this case it can because of the head-on fire. To figure out how shooting works, we are going to take a look at the characteristic card again, and again, firepower is the first characteristic. On the Zero, we got 2. We're going to add that to our pilot skill. In this case, it's a veteran, so it's 4, and that's how many dice we're going to be throwing. And we are looking for 6s to hit, which on the dice, that is the spade. Here are the 6 dice, and we want 6s. Oh, we got 1.
1 6.
And that's all that really matters. All right, we need to show at least a 6 to not take the hit. Okay, we do.
Boom.
So you do dodge it, but we still get a boom chit. Now the way boom chits work is the main way to win the game. They represent light damage and a squadron's cohesion breaking down as pilots get rattled by enemy attacks, along with the rapid expenditure of fuel and ammunition during a dogfight. Because I scored a hit, whether it was dodged or not, the opposing player will get a boom chit on their overall morale. If you reach a total number of boom chits greater than the current number of aircraft you have remaining, the squadron will disengage from the fight at the end of the current game turn. The survivor is driven off by the fierce opposition and accumulated damage. Now I should note down that if an aircraft is shot down, it will gain an additional boom chit, which we'll explain later on when that comes up. Now, unfortunately for the Zero, we did get that boom chit in there, but there is return fire that it must sustain.
So now I will return fire, so I'll add my firepower of 2 to my pilot skill of 3 to give me a total pull so far of 5 dice. But the Zeros are vulnerable, so when these planes are being shot at, I increase my firepower of the shooting attack by 1 before any of the dice are rolled, so give me a total of 6 dice.
And for any history buffs out there, that's to represent the design flaws, including a complete lack of pilot armor, which made the Zeros virtual death traps.
Paper.
Unfortunately for the pilot. All right, 6s.
6s.
Oh, we got one. Okay, well then, my turn to try and dodge. Taking a look at the Zero, we have an agility of 3, much higher than that of the Wildcat. So we're gonna be adding 3 plus our pilot skill 4 to this dodge chest. All right, show me a spade. Oh, no! Okay, well, that means I get a boom chit, no matter what, dodge or not, but my Zero takes a hit. Now, the way this works is you look at the advantage level of the aircraft, and it goes down by 1 level. If it was at disadvantage, it is shot down, and you will accumulate an additional boom chit. Now, luckily, it was at advantage, so a little impetuous of the pilot here, it is going to unfortunately take a hit and lose a level of advantage going down to the neutral position. So 2 more hits, and that one is particularly out of the game. And that there, folks, is it for that pilot's activation. We go to the next advantage plane, which is this Zero, and I'm feeling bold, so I kind of want to do the same thing again. I won't lie. I'm going to go ahead right past shooting. We are going to move, not the full, no, I don't want to risk getting hit, so I don't want to burn any movement here. I think we're just going to move 4 and then turn. This is a great opportunity to show off the other trait of the Zero. This one, luckily for me, is beneficial. It is tight turn. The lightweight airframe and large wings of the Zero allow it to turn much better than opposing aircrafts. So this will allow me to perform the 45-degree turn at any point of the maneuver. Now, this is a once per game use. I have 5 of these for this game because of the 5 Zeros in the game. So I can only do this 4 more times. With that tight turn, we are going to turn 45 degrees, and we're not going to burn any advantage. And we're going to turn right towards that aircraft and fly a full 7. Because if I didn't have the tight turn, I would have had to go 4 that way and then turn. I might not have actually been in range to fire. Or heck, I might have been in a side, which would have been even less effective. We're going to land right beside Buddy there. And we are going to perform a shoot pilot action at that Wildcat. But that will allow it to fire right back at me.
So in response to that, I'm going to play a card that's specific to the Wildcat called Robust. This represents just the rugged nature of the airframe, and it can take a lot of punishment. So it's a throwaway card, just like the Zero card. And what I get to do, I get to reduce the number of attacks by 1. So that means Luka will only be rolling 4 dice.
He's gonna roll 6s for days with my 4 dice. Oh, I missed. I just missed completely. And unfortunately, there's return fire now.
Okay, so firing back, I get 6 dice. So spades for days.
2. Oh, that there, folks, is a critical hit. You need at least 2 spades to acquire that. And what the critical hit means is the characteristic of my agility on the Zero there will be reduced by 1 from 3 to 2 to represent the sheer accuracy of that fire and how difficult it is to dodge away from it. I would normally have 6 dice on the dodge check, but I only have 5 in this case. I still only need 1 6 to dodge away from him for my success, but the critical makes it a little bit harder to do. So I get 2.
Easy.
But I still get the chit, which is not great. And with that, my pilot's a little too aggressive, a little too impetuous. They seen an opportunity, they jumped for it. But I'm the one who took 2 chits to Gaz's 1. So we're off to a rough start. Again, when the level of chits exceeds your total aircraft on the table, it's over. So I'm already at 2 out of 5. So if I get 4 more, it's over for me. But the aircraft does not lose advantage because it didn't take a hit. We are gonna, that should be it for the advantageous planes. We're onto the neutral level planes. And the highest pilot level, well, we all know that that's our ace pilot in this Wildcat.
Okay, so what I want to do is burn dive, so I was going to move forward and hopefully end up in the cloud just behind the element there.
Absolutely, we're going to add 6 to its move of 6 or ace. We're going to fly, as an ace pilot, he's going to try and play defensively and outmaneuver them. Yeah. And then the final position, boop, right in the clouds. And even though we're all in the same clouds, they are dense, as clouds are. There's no sensors in these aircrafts back then. It's just what the pilot sees.
Flying blind.
To us, we have no idea that this ace just flew into those clouds there. Not gonna bother with the turn at all. We are happy with his position. Next, we've got to do any neutral 4s. We have 2 of them, but I have the higher speed. I have to go with this 0 before that Wildcat. This guy's got the same idea. We're gonna burn advantage for a maneuver, allowing us to turn up to 180 degrees right away, and we're just gonna, putt forward our 7 inches, which will take us to that cloud over there. Boop. So we know that we're just going to be touching it a wee bit. Nice and safe-ish. Might want to do something fancy next turn, so we're even going to turn this way because we might want to fly back into the battlefield with a full 180. Or I guess into the airspace. I guess battlefield works too. It's not really a field, it's air. Lots of air, sky.
So what I'm going to do with my veteran pilot, I'm going to burn advantage to turn 90 degrees and then just shoot over this way to try and outmaneuver one of your regular pilots. Let's see how that turns out.
Yeah, we get to show off this mechanic, so we're going to do, it could go up to 180, but we're just going to do a basic 90-degree turn, and we're going to fly 6, whee, whoop, right over there, supporting the other 2 Wildcats nearby it. And...
Okay, so for my pilot action, I'm going to choose to outmaneuver one of the 0 pilots to try and knock him down, or to knock him down at advantage level. This kind of represents like harassing enemy planes and like a more skilled pilot coming in and trying to nudge him out of the way, etc. So the way this works then, if a higher skilled pilot outmaneuvers a lower skilled pilot, they automatically drop down in advantage level. But if it's a lower skilled pilot trying to do it to a higher skilled pilot, they have to do what's called a pilot test, and then we'll explain that when that comes up.
I assume that this Wildcat is going to be targeting this 0 right there.
Yes.
Because we got the veteran against the regular. So that means, and the range on that's 9, if
it's
anyone's
9
curious.
inches, yes.
So that is definitely within 9, so you're going to go to a neutral state, which means you're not as safe as you thought you were, buddy. And then the outmaneuver, again, is just a pilot action, so we do that instead of shooting or climbing. In this regard, kind of makes that aircraft pretty vulnerable. So that should be it for the 4s. We are on to the 3s now, which you have a couple over here, but I must go with my 0 here first. Let's do it. We're in the clouds. Let's just come ripping out of the clouds as fast as we possibly can with this 0. So we're going to go ahead and perform a climb, which will burn, sorry, not a climb, a dive. It's going to burn the advantage, but we're in clouds, it won't matter. We're going to move up to 13 inches with this 0. So we'll show you where it ends up. We're not even going to turn with that, but we are, as a pilot action, going to climb. You know what? No, he's not there. I can't target him. I was like, I could probably knock him down a level, but no, he's hiding in the clouds. We are not even aware of his position. So we're going to use this to... It's difficult. Thank you. There we go. Boom. Now that that's finished, we're on to the Wildcats at the regular veterancy here. What's the plan? Who's going first?
It'll be this Wildcat here. Okay, so what I've done there, I've moved the minimum distance with the Wildcat and just turned towards the regular 0, and now I'm going to try and perform a outmaneuvering pilot action on that regular Wildcat, try and knock his advantage level down, just so my other Wildcat can get some head-on shooting on him.
And then if that works out, you knock that 0 out of the sky. That is amazing. Now this 0 must perform a maneuver test, which is my agility plus my pilot skill, total of 6. I just need to show 1 success here to know what he's trying to do to me and just ignore it. Hey. You don't scare me, Mr. Wildcat. I'm fine. Which means I'm safe. And now this Wildcat gets to go. So we move the Wildcat.
And then I decided just to climb for advantage. I'm just trying to think about the start of the next turn and trying to keep him safe from that rookie that's hiding in the clouds at the moment. Just back there.
There was much deliberation on what this Wildcat should do, just because this little rookie 0 is hanging out and he could be a real pain. But I think that's a pretty safe move. This rookie is going to try something very ambitious. We are going to move. We have to go at least 4. We're going to move our minimum 4 out of the clouds. Like, oh, where'd that 0 come from? And we are going to try to outmaneuver this veteran pilot. It's not likely, but it's ambitious. He's like, oh, look at me, I'm so fast. So this one has to do a maneuver check on, I think it's like 10 dice. Oh, it's the agility, right? Oh, they're very non-agile. It's only 5 dice. This could work out. Gaz gonna roll 5 dice.
Show me the
No! No, because if we could have got him down 1 and I got to go before him with another 0 and then boop, shot him down or something, that would have been cool. We got one more rookie. It's a Wildcat. What's the plan, Gaz?
So, thinking about this, I am going to burn advantage so I can move 180 at any time. I'm just going to move forward and then do a full 180, so hopefully coming back on your tail end of this regular 0.
This should work out perfectly. So going 6 and then doing nearly a 180 and ending up tailing this 0. And unfortunately for this 0 here, well, that means it loses all advantage it has, all the way to disadvantage. What a precarious position to be in. Great use of the clouds. And the pilot action is, of course, going to be shoot, I assume.
Yes, it will be indeed.
Good luck, 0.
So let's go.
5 dice. Oh, we got the hit. That's a
got it
chit right
again.
there. Now, if I don't dodge this, he's in a disadvantaged position. That is a 0 out of the sky for sure. My agility does give me 3, so I have 6 dice here. I would like to not die. Show me a spade. Aha, we do.
Oh.
So we take the boom chit. That does put us at 3, but at least we're not at 4, and at least we didn't lose a plane. And then that there is the final activation. We're on to the next round. We're going to remove all the markers and start this off again with that guy there.
Okay, so it's me to go first with the advantaged regular. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to burn advantage to give myself a 180 during the movement. So move up 6 and then again come behind Luka's rookie pilot there.
Now it does burn the advantage to do that, but because we're tailing, again, this 0, boop, oh, the other way, boom, disadvantage. Oops, sorry. And I assume we're going to be shooting at it.
Yes, we certainly will be. Show me the spade.
Oh!
No!
Interesting.
How can you miss from there?
That's you know what? There's a lot going on up here right now, right?
A 180 on somebody, that does put a bit of pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe he the G's hit him a bit.
Yeah.
Well, there's no other advantaged planes, so right over to the ace pilot, the Wildcat. Oh, we do have some targets. Oh gosh, do we have targets?
Okay, so with my ace pilot, I'm going to burn advantage again, turn 180, and then just see if I can come behind the regular pilot down here, purely because if I do manage to get a shot off, then it's less on the dodge roll.
Absolutely. Oh,
no.
we were too sure, but he's not in range to fire. Nothing,
out of range.
Nothing bad happens, you just can't fire, right? So that 0, that pilot, he's got some luck on his side, that's for sure. So that's the final position. Does the 180, lands there, tries to light him up, but the bullets just can't range to the target, and that's it for his action. Well, since we're already over here, I will go next with my 0. I'll go with this veteran over here. We are going to burn advantage to do a 180 maneuver. I'm going to go forward. I'll go forward like half an inch and then turn. Heck, I'll just turn around and go the full 7. And because we're in a cloud, it won't cost us. It will stay neutral essentially. So we're going to end up in this position, and we are going to use our pilot action to outmaneuver this Wildcat rookie. He doesn't know what to do because I have a higher pilot skill. He must take a level of disadvantage, nosediving like so, and that is it for that 0. Which means I must activate my other Wildcat, and I believe I'm going to do something similar-ish. Parts of me wanted to fly into the cloud, but we are not going to do any advantage burning. We're just going to move forward 4, and our pilot action is going to be outmaneuvering this Wildcat. Because we're a higher pilot level, he just nosedives a little bit and loses his initiative a wee bit there. Like so, which means this Wildcat goes next. So we're going to move forward our 5, or 4 even, and turn 45 degrees.
Yep.
Got range on the shots, and we are in the front arc, so we're going to throw some shots at that 0. Which will of course be a head-to-head. We're going to resolve the Wildcat's fire first though, which will be a total of 7 dice because of vulnerable.
High roll.
High roll here. Oh, that's a critical.
3.
Does the 3 matter?
No,
it's just a critical, yeah.
The 2.
I only have 4 dice because the critical, again, very concentrated firepower, very good aim. That worked out well. I need to show a 6. Oh, I do. I take the chit, but I do not get shot down. That is going to put us at fortress, but we do get to return fire with my 0, even though I'm at a disadvantaged altitude. That's just how the head-to-head works there.
Okay, so on the veteran, I'm going to use one of my robust cards just to take the dice pool down a little bit.
So burning a second robust card there. And so instead of 4 dice, we're going to throw 3. It's okay. All I need is 1 die to get a hit. Oh! Let's see if it would have mattered. I like to always do the hypothetical.
Yeah, I always like to do the hypothetical. I burnt it for nothing, man.
But hey, you don't take it. You don't take the shit. I'm having a hard time getting a hit to connect here. On to my regular 0. I think the only option I really have is to burn advantage and maneuver to do the 180 at any point in my move, just to bloop, bloop, boop, go down a level. We are going to turn in this direction, and we're going to end up in the clouds. Boop, just to go back to a neutral state for next turn, just so I can do something with you. Just didn't really see a way I could have gotten behind them without taking the disadvantage myself and still remained at a higher advantage point. So that's planning for later. This guy's a little suspicious, but we'll figure it out. We are done with the all of the neutral positions, I believe. So now we're at the disadvantaged aircraft, which would be, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that 0 must go first then, yeah. Well, I want that cloud. So we're gonna have to burn our second tight turn trait on the 0s to allow it to turn at any point during its move. So we're gonna turn right away. So we're like, bloop, face towards the clouds. And we are going to move to that position, which will bring us to a neutral position. And that is effectively it. Next up, this Wildcat.
Okay, so all I'm going to do with a Wildcat is just moving forwards, a little turn at the end, and then a climb.
Put the little wing beside him, and he is done with his little climb. Now my little 0 over here. Well, what are you going to do? Little rookie? The little rookie who dared try. We're probably just going to move 7 with you and climb as well with a little bit of a turn. Ending there with that 0. And lastly, this Wildcat.
So with this little rookie, I'm just going to go forward 6, little turn at the end, and then climb again.
Yeah, the outmaneuvering seems really effective against the Wildcats.
Yeah, big time.
Let's get him, guys. Boom. And then a little bit of a turn. And up he goes. Welcome back to the fight. Oh, somehow, Gaz and I have done it. All of our aircraft have neutraled out. Don't know how. Not a single lick of advantage on the table, which means that ace goes first.
He's just going to move forwards, his 6, and just do a pilot action, just climb.
Did you want to turn it or just stay forward?
Stay forwards for now, because I don't want to turn into that cloud, because then I've run the risk of losing my advantage I've just got, so...
Absolutely.
Just keep him forwards.
All right, well then that means my 0s must go. All right, I've got a risky maneuver over here. This 0 is going to declare a maneuver to do a 180 turn at any point in its move here. So all I did was fly forward 4 and do a 45-degree turn at the end, and my pilot action is going to attempt to outmaneuver this Wildcat there with a. But we're the same pilot level, so we need Gaz here to fail a check. That's going to be 5 dice. We need to see a 6.
Try and avoid this cheapness.
Oh, you got 2 of them. Very nice, very nice. That would have been good for me.
You needed that.
Absolutely. All right, well, that means that you're next. This 0 is going to maneuver as well, do a 180 on his turn. He's going to fly backwards into the clouds, try and utilize them a little bit. It will require burning advantage, putting us at disadvantage, but now we are we neutral out in the clouds. That's it. That activation is done, and we're going to go to this Wildcat over here.
So all I'm going to do with my Wildcat is just move forwards 5, and then turn slightly, and then just give myself an advantage, and then just leave his activation done.
All right, well, I have my 0s to go at 3, and we're gonna go with this 0 first. I already know what I'm gonna do for the most part. I'm gonna burn my 3rd tight turn to be able to turn right away, and we're gonna dive out of the clouds at super fast speeds. So we're gonna turn first about this direction, and we're gonna go 13 inches this way. I'm gonna turn a little bit afterwards, thank you very much. Boom. Now, that's probably not 6, but what I will do for my pilot action is outmaneuver him. I am able to check tailing for free. I wasn't too sure if that was the case, actually. We are going to end there in that position, which means he's tailed, and he has no wingman because this guy's too far away to support. Wingman is the same thing. He's able to, if he can fire at that 0, then he would prevent that. So we are going to use shoot as our action. Will give me 5 dice to attack, and would you like to use a robust?
Yes, I will.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw 4 dice. 6s! Oh, not quite. We trying though. We trying. That is it for that 0. We do get to try that again with that 0 because he's next in initiative. He's going to perform a maneuver and do a 180-degree turn and then move. So that 180 turn will end us there. Again, we keep our neutral state and we're able to fire at the Wildcat because he is currently at disadvantage. We get to show off deflection shooting now. I am going to go ahead and fire this 0 at 5 dice against this veteran here. And we're going to burn the 4th robust of 5, of 5, yeah. And I'm only going to throw 4 dice at this, and we'll explain the deflection shooting because it is very difficult to fire at a target that is moving a beam. Still, we're looking for 6s. Oh, not a single one. No. 8 dice, no 6s. Unfortunate for the 0s. But we're putting pressure on the Wildcats here. Now, the way the deflection would have worked is instead of using the agility, we would have used the speed as the defensive characteristic for the Wildcat instead, giving you a roll of, I believe, like 9 dice or something. No, 10 dice because you're speed 6.
Yeah, 10 dice. So with my Wildcat here, I'm just going to move forward 6, do a little turn, and then try and outmaneuver your regular here.
Alrighty. It's the final position of the Wildcat. We're going to perform an outmaneuver on my 0. Ah, I do ignore it. Now it's the other Wildcat's turn.
So with my last regular, I'm just going to move forwards and turn slightly and just do a climb action.
Okay, just to take advantage.
Yeah, see if this pulls off.
And performing the climb. Now, the rookie here isn't tailed because he's got a little wingman helping him out. This guy's flying in, acting as a buffer to protect the rookie a little bit. Now, that is the final activation for the normal veterancy flyers here, the pilots. We're going to go on to my rookie, and then on to Gaz's rookie. I don't actually know what I want to do with my rookie is the thing here. I think I'm going to burn my 4th tight turn. The nuances of this game are like racking my brain because there's so many, like if you're trying to think a few turns ahead and like what Gaz could potentially do here. So a tight turn allows this little 0 to turn at any point in this turn, and we are going to perform a dive to lose advantage. So we're going to nosedive a little bit. Bloop. But we're going to be able to move up to 13 inches, and we're going to turn at the start of ours, and we're going to go right to the clouds, where it's nice and safe. I guess I didn't need to dive, but it don't really matter. We're going to end up there, and once we hit the clouds, we neutral out. Hard to do with one hand. Thank you, guys. Boom. With that last tight turn, I only have 1 more remaining for the rest of the game.
So with my rookie, I'm going to burn 180. I'm going to jump through this cloud, and then try and see if I'm in range for an outmaneuver on that veteran there.
It might work out.
Yeah. Of course, I've ended up in the cloud, so I cannot pilot action, but he is there poised for next turn.
It's still a good position to be in regardless, yeah. And that is the final activation. We're back on to the advantaged planes, which is that ace pilot.
So my ace then, he's going to burn action, dive, turn in towards Luka's veteran here, and then just move again and see where that ends me up.
With the dive going a full 12 inches of movement and turning 45 degrees, ending there and losing the advantage. And we're gonna. Do you want to climb again, or do you want to see if you're in range to outmaneuver my veteran? Let me tell you, I'm very confident on what this is. I don't think that's 9.
No, not a million years. I'm gonna climb. Yeah.
Okay. That looks like a 10.5 or something. Yeah.
Should we check anyway?
Yeah, 100%. We should check. Yeah. So what is this? That's tight. Oh, you think you would have? Yeah, you would have been in range.
I would have been in.
I apologize. I feel like I goaded you into that one.
That's like minigaming wargame, like mind tricks, isn't it? Yeah, that's what you guys did. All game, I've had this, by the way, folks. Like all game.
Oh no, yeah. Now that I think about it, I'm looking at the bases. I apologize. Then we go to the next advantage aircraft, which is this regular Wildcat, because I have no planes that are under advantage right now.
So my Wildcat is advantage. He's going to burn 180 and then just move towards this veteran here, and let's get some tailing action.
Yeah, he's got no wingman right now. He's kind of exposed.
Exposed.
Final position there, and then seeing within 6, we are indeed
easy.
It's a tight one. It's a close though.
It's tight.
It's got like 1/4 inch. That's still enough though. So we are now tailed, and I assume the pilot action is going to be to shoot.
And you assume correct.
Oh, here we go. Because I'm vulnerable at 6 dice.
Let's see.
Oh, you got the critical too. That could be a very dramatic end for my squadron here. I would normally get 7 dice for the dodge here, but the critical reduces it to 6. I need to show. I do. Oh, nice. I still take the chit. I'm at 5 chits. 1 more, I'm done. But I don't lose yet. I am lucky enough to survive over there. We're on to those at neutral advantage. We're going to start with this 0, who is going to burn advantage to perform a 180-degree turn. We're simply going to go... Oh, I don't know if... I might get in range. Let me look at this, because I might have to do a tight turn here instead. No, a tight turn's only 45 degrees, so I'm going to burn the 180 to take a 90-degree turn. I'll do a little bit more than that, and I'll just kind of fly in this general area. I'm going to go the full 7. 10 there. And we're going to check tailing. That's probably a little too far away, unfortunately. I am in range to fire, so that means he's tailed, and we're going to perform. We're going to try and take this ace pilot out. I'll try, being the keyword. No robust. Gaz thinks he'll be fine. I'm going to roll a critical.
The one time I don't use the robust card.
It's like the only time I rolled 6s so far. We're getting a chit. We're getting the freaking chit. Heck yeah. So that means his 6 dice on the dodge will go down to 5. It's an ace plus speed 1. So let's see. Can he roll 6? Probably. Yes. So he's not shot down.
Nope.
That's good.
But yeah.
We got 2 on the Americans now. We got 2. So next up, we go to 3 because my 4 is disadvantaged. So is yours, I guess. We are going to go with this 0, who is going to move his minimum and turn, I think. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case here. Oh my gosh, it might actually happen. You do get to shoot as the first part of your action. This is the first time it's come up. I already know I'm in range to fire at him because I did last turn, and he has not moved since. So we're going to perform shoot right away.
Okay, so I'm going to robust this one. And so that is me out of robust cards.
All right, I got one more tight turn left. So we have 4 dice because of the robust. Oh, nothing!
Ooh,
you are A-okay, but now I get to move and all the fancy stuff too. Now, I don't want to do it because it literally hasn't worked at all yet. I can't get a good clean hit on these Wildcats. They keep dodging it, but I'm going to burn my last tight turn on this 0 to allow it to turn before it moves, and we're going to go our minimum move of 4. It's going to end up in that position, and we are going to use our pilot action to shoot again. Surely 2 attempts at shooting will do it. We got a hit, so that's a chit. That's not bad. So we got you to 3, and then can you dodge it? You get to throw 5 dice at this. 1 6 is all you need. You got him every time so far. Oh, he finally did it.
Boom, he's down.
We do shoot a veteran. Wildcat pilot down. Because he was at disadvantage, so he can't be knocked down any further. He is taken off the table and 1 additional check to the Americans. So it's a tie game. Well, not quite. I'm at 5, actually.
So I'm at 4 planes. It is near enough. One more check.
Well, that's true.
Gone, yeah.
Technically, you're right. That is a tie, exactly. Yeah. Next up, this Wildcat's going to go. We are going to move 4 and turn a little bit. We'll go forward. We'll go forward 6.
Okay.
We like 6. We're going to go forward 6, and our pilot action is going to be to attempt to outmaneuver that Wildcat to give it disadvantage. You know what? We're going to turn just a little bit, just to throw the arc off a wee bit of whatever. If this fails, whatever he could do. Nah, whatever. We'll keep going straight. Never mind. Yeah, we'll just do a pilot action for an outmaneuver on 4 dice. Good luck, Gaz. Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
So lucky.
He's not getting on you.
He's not intimidated. He's fine. He's all good.
All. So that's it for my regular 0s.
Look, am I going to get into the clouds?
Yeah, with a 6, you might be able to get in the clouds.
Okay, so with this regular here, I'm going to burn, maneuver, and try and run into this cloud here. Oh, sugar, as I'm moving it towards me. To see if it works.
So we can do a 180 turn for free. You get to the cloud with a 6-inch move. Glorious! The cloud protects. Boom. Bless the clouds.
The cloud protects.
Bless sky phenomena. There we go. We neutral out. Brings us to the rookies. This guy here in particular. Well, we are definitely... This guy's going to be the all-star. This is it. This is the freaking hero. Zero's heroes. Here we go. So we are going to do a 180-degree turn, burn advantage, and we're going to fly right to the side of this guy and try and take him out. Or not take him out. Oh, no, we can't because he's not disadvantaged. I have to think of a much better plan than that. I'm in a precarious position. I'm not in a great position, but in case this works out for me, I'm still going to try and plan for success and have this 0. My hopes were to shoot at that guy, but then I realized, I can't actually tail him because of the positioning I'm in. And unfortunately, that's just the case. I'd have to... I wonder. We're going to try and burn advantage to maneuver. We're going to do a directly 180-degree turn. We're going to turn around that way as part of our move. And then we're going to go forward 6 or 7, whatever this ruler kind of looks like. That's where he ends up with a... And then he's going to go 45 degrees and tail this Wildcat. Zero's heroes, baby. Boom. Let's try and take a shot at him. We only get to throw 4 dice, though. So... It's not a lot.
I've got no robust cards or nothing, so
1-6. 1-6. That's game.
1-6.
1-6. Dramatic effect. Oh.
Oh.
Oh! Boom! And it's critical too. You know what? Do we shoot him out of? I'm curious. Do we shoot him out of the sky? Because you get to throw 3 dice.
Yeah. Is this just for like just?
This is for fun.
Just to rub it in.
This is for fun. 100%.
3 dice. Oh yeah, because a critical hit. And do I?
Oh, he gets shot out of the sky.
Shot out the sky as well.
So you actually get 2 chits. It actually might matter on a tie because you only technically lose at the end of the round. Because if you could also force my chits to go over my squadron, then we have an interesting question to answer. So we do shoot down that Wildcat, and what that means is Gaz is over his chit limit. The game will end at the end of this turn, but the Americans can try and save face and do a little bit of damage before they fly off. That is it for his activation. We have this rookie now going.
Okay, so this rookie's going to save the day. What he's going to do? He's going to burn advantage maneuver, turn slightly, oops, like this, go his full distance, then just get the angle at the end on this veteran.
And try and shoot him out of the sky as well.
This pays off.
To 6 to there, and then he gets that 45-degree turn afterwards.
Oops, yeah.
Right in the rear, we're going to be throwing 4 dice at me, and we're going to try and shoot this 0 out of the sky. Actually, get 5 dice because I'm vulnerable.
5.
Good luck, Gaz.
There's a lot riding on this. I've got faith in this little rookie.
The rookies do it.
Go, rookie! Yes!
Oh, we got a hit. We got a hit.
Got a hit.
Okay, so
That's
that means
good.
I throw 4. I actually throw 7 dice at this because I'm fast. If I don't roll 6. Oh, I rolled 2 6s.
You rolled 2 6s.
So we do get hit, but that does buckle my forces. We're out of here too. Like we've taken too many hits. That's our 6 chit, which puts me over my limit of 5. So as much as the Zeros did well, they're also running out of fuel, running out of ammunition. Their planes are shot to crap. And yes, as Gaz said, the Wildcats are also running out of ammo. Their planes are shot up.
We don't want to play anymore.
No. So all of our planes at the same time, ironically, fly off, and it's a Pyrrhic victory for the Zeros because you then calculate the amount of ships shot down or aircraft shot down, and it'll be 2-0 actually. Huzzah!
Yeah. Well, what can you say? You know, it's great fun. It's it's always planning ahead and putting people at disadvantage at a certain stage of the turn.
It's so big.
It's huge.
So this is like as much as like Gaz is here representing from Warlord Games, it's a little it's been a little rusty. I have no idea what I'm doing. We were just kind of flying with confidence at first, but then like halfway through the game, we both started getting really into it. Like, oh yeah, I could do this. Like, oh, I could do this too. And like everything started becoming incredibly clear, and we had an intense game. Then thank you for that, Gaz. This was an amazing game.
It's been awesome. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Before you watch this post-game show, keep in mind there's going to be another game in the MiniWarGaming Vault. It will be me, Josh, taking on Luka. We're going to try it out. I'll be flying the Wildcats. Luka will be sticking with playing the Zeros. We're going to switch up the lists a little bit. Now, if you're not a Vault member, you can check out the link below anyways. Get yourself a 7-day free trial to the Vault, because everything we do our best to do in pairs. That's twice as much content for you awesome folks. So check that out and enjoy this post-game chat.
Gaz and I are going to have a bit of a post-game here, talk about our aircrafts, kind of like figuring out how it all worked throughout the game. This is, for me, I built my squadron, and I was told, build 500 points. I was given a chart, and I had no idea, like, I understand that the veterans go first, the aces go first, and then advantage and all that clues in, but I didn't really comprehend, I didn't comprehend that in practice. I understood in theory, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously playing the game, it's all on the rookies, baby.
It's all about those rookies.
Yeah, pretty much like your veterans go flying around attempting to put disadvantage on other aircraft so that your rookies could come in or your regular guys could come in and shoot them down.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I completely agree. And I was trying to utilise as much of the cloud mechanics as possible, and I think I was a little bit too hasty at times. So I was, going for the boon chits early on, and then potentially
You got them.
I got them, and then as the game went on, I don't know, the plan just kind of undone at the seams, and I was like, you had some really good manoeuvres in there. Some really, really good foresight. So, that paid off, and
I got lucky on a lot of it. I think I only really made one good move. That was it. The one thing I was super proud of was this guy's wingman on the rookie was huge.
That caught me out massively. I won't lie. When I was looking at my my regular there, and I thought the rookie's gonna get it.
I thought he was, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like the wingman. I was like, I completely forgot it because the turn previous to that, I could have outmaneuvered the rookie,
Yes.
With the regular.
Right.
And you know, I was looking at the range, it would have been like a 9 or a 10. So I was like, no, it's fine, that regular's going to outmaneuver him. I completely missed the wingman.
That's the only thing I had foresight on. Everything else is like, okay, well, they're in a crap position. There's just, honestly, the clouds are a great way. If you don't know what to do, it just seemed like, okay, just fly into the clouds, figure it out later.
Yeah, just hide.
Just hide. Just
hide
go in the clouds.
It'll be okay in the clouds.
Everything is stressful right now. The clouds are safe. The clouds protect. Anxiety levels, way down. It was nice. I liked the clouds. They were good fun. And that was like a nice, I love the cloud mechanics, actually. They're very elegant, and they are so important. The clouds are very important. In the overall idea of Blood Red Skies here. I mean, obviously it makes sense. The clouds are a big factor for the pilots. I wonder if, like, you know, like we control the aircraft, they fly in the clouds, and like we know where they want to pop out. But I wonder, like, an actual pilot flying into the clouds with no like systems to see. It's like, how do they know where to exit? How do they know where the enemies end up? Things like that.
I can't even recognize a wingman right now, so I commented that. Yeah, I mean, the cloud mechanics, it kind of almost, like you say, it just gives you that breathing space, like you to see what the opponent's doing as well.
Yeah.
Because you're at neutral. If someone's at advantage, let them fly off and do something. You're like,
right.
Yeah.
I quickly found it was very difficult to like take that climb to get advantage, because all of a sudden everything was like, how do I put that pilot at? How do I outmaneuver that? How do I outmaneuver there? I do want to say, I don't think a single one of our gambling outmaneuvers worked. Not because we just always passed the pilot check.
Yeah, and that was pretty good. You know, kind of like that foresight into outmaneuvering. I think it was very rare that we needed to test for it. Right. So we always had that foresight of using our like higher skill pilots to do that. Right. Which was good. It's what they're there for. You know, and then you know the rookies finished them off, and you know our rookies are great today. They were amazing. I love the rookies. Oh, to give some people insight into the aircraft, because we didn't cover it so much in the game. The Wildcats are a lot cheaper. If you're probably wondering, oh, the Zeros are very fast, they have high agility. I am paying a lot more points for the Zeros. That's why you're able to have the Ace, which is a very expensive aircraft upgrade, as opposed to me just having, because you had the Ace and a couple veterans, I think. Yeah, so I think yours are like double the points of mine. I'm at 42 points base. Yours are 23? 23. Okay, just a little bit less than half. A little bit less, okay. Yeah, so that's why, but I also have the vulnerable trait as well. But that tight turn is very, very powerful. Really useful. That seems like kind of a ludicrous ability. But then again, I'm paying nearly double the cost, because other than that, I got vulnerable. 1 more inch of movement. The agility is a big deal, but our firepower is the exact same. Yeah, I mean, I like the robust card as well for the Wildcats. Exactly, yeah. A bit off camera, it was like, it never worked. It never works. I was like, oh, wasted it. And then the one time I didn't play it, you were like, wait. I was like, here's the critical. Oh my gosh, right, yeah. That was great. It's just great fun. You know, it's just a really, really good laugh. And this is just the base level of Blood Red Skies. So we're playing with our basic fighters for both of our countries here. Obviously, there's bombers, different classes of fighters, and things like that. And we're fighting in the Pacific front here in theater. I believe it's called the Pacific Theater, technically, and all that good stuff. I don't know, it was cool just playing, like, oh man, it was good. I love playing games, man. I freaking love playing games. There's so much to it. It's just, it racks your brain. It's just so, it's actually mentally exhausting in a lot of cases too. Especially this, because there's so much to think about. It's like there were certain stages to that game where I disadvantaged one of your fours from a neutral to a disadvantage. Right, you just completely threw it all off. Throws everything off. Threw everything. Right away you did that in the beginning. I'm like, oh gosh, my turn's just scuffed. Like, I don't even know what to do now. Downhill. I'm just going to try to recover from this as much as I can. It didn't really work out for me. It happened to me too, you know. I know, yeah. You did it to me, you outmaneuvered me, and I was just like, I really needed that, but you know, it's fun. That's what it's all about. And I gotta say, one of the most important aspects to point out for this game, highly interactive. The turns are quick. You do your pilot's activations, it's like 30 seconds, man. Then it's my turn. There's a lot of back and forth, and you're constantly engaged in playing. That's a great element of this game. Like 100%. That's like probably one of the most attractive factors for me, at least. You have to be engaged, because if you miss it, you've always got to be engaged. Yeah, it's fully engaging, immersing. Which is, a great draw to the game. Oh, I couldn't agree more. Anyways, folks, that is this game of Blood Red Skies. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave some feedback down below what you thought, of course. And, all that good stuff. If you want more, ask for more, and that's how it generally works. But anyway, anyways, thanks again for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Happy wargaming.